You're live on Instagram.
Oh, I am? Okay.
And you are live on Facebook and YouTube.
Awesome. Good morning. How are you? I'm Mel Robbins. I'm the best-selling author of The 5-Second Rule, and I have a brand new daytime syndicated talk show launching on September 16th. You're watching Coffee Talk. This is my live weekday, mostly broadcast, when we remember, where I give you the tools that you need and the little push that you need to go about your day in a way that empowers you. And that, of course, will have a ripple effect on the rest of your life. And, oh, you know what I need? I'm looking at Megan. I need the SpringItOn printout so I can hold it up. And if you were to go ahead with your Seinfeld socks. Goodbye, Megan. She's got on her 30th anniversary Seinfeld socks this morning. It's in my backpack. And I'm so excited because you are watching this while we're in the middle of a 4-week-long program. It's not really a program, it's more like an experience where for 4 weeks, you and we are spring cleaning our lives together. Isn't that a good idea? I mean, it is spring. I don't know about you, but when spring hits our home, I feel like I should clean out the closets. I definitely need to rake and get the garden beds ready and get the mulch on them for the spring flowers. I also feel like I need to go through the mudroom and donate coats and boots that the kids have outgrown. And I also figured this year it would be a great time of year to spring clean my life. Because the one thing that's true about life is that things are always changing around you, always. Whether you are moving into a new season or in school and all of a sudden your kids' school schedules change, or you're moving into a new season of work and all of a sudden your work life is changing, or you're moving into a new season of your marriage or of your health or of anything. Life changes all the time, which is why it's really important to be self-aware and to make the small changes that help you enjoy and seize all the opportunities from the season of life, work, family, relationships that you're in right now. And so we're doing something called SpringItOn. Megan with her Seinfeld socks coming right back in. Thank you, Megan. There she is. SpringItOn. If you don't know what this is, you've never seen this before, or if you've watched me hold this up and you've never gotten one, get on it. What are you waiting for? Let's go. Go to melrobbins.com/SpringItOn, baby. Not the baby, just the SpringItOn. melrobbins.com/SpringItOn. What happens when you go there? Well, you give us your email address and we harass you and spam you with emails. No, that's not what happens. What happens is we send you an email, and in that email, you're going to get a link to this free, that's right, F-R-E-E. That means no money, period. This is my gift to you. This free workbook that will help you refresh your routine. Refresh your routine. Why is this important? I'll tell you why this is important. Because there is so much science that talks about the power of your morning routine. And there's also so much noise out there about the morning routine. And I don't know about you, but when I read all these articles about the power of a morning routine, I'm typically reading them by some male influencer who clearly doesn't have children yet, or some male CEO. No offense to the dudes, but all of the articles out there tend to be written by guys that have 2.5 hours before work starts to somehow drink mushroom tea and meditate and go to yoga and exercise and drink bulletproof coffee and sit in an infrared sauna. And I don't know what planet these people live on, but they clearly don't have children or a job they need to get to at 8 o'clock in the morning. And not to make anyone wrong, I'm being realistic. I'm being realistic about the fact that you need a morning routine, but you need one that works for you and for where you are in your life in this season. You see, I had a morning routine that used to take me 30 to 40 minutes last year when I had more time. I've had a morning routine that took an hour when I had time and the ability to go for a jog in the morning. I'd incorporate that in the morning routine. Do you realize that my morning routine right now has been responsible for helping me curb my anxiety? It's responsible for why I'm so successful and I'm able to be productive. My morning routine, 10 minutes long. That's it. It's 10 minutes long because that's what works for me in this season of my life. And so I am inviting you to do a routine refresh where I'm going to walk you through the science of a morning routine. I'm going to take you step by step in this guide through how you should be thinking about the components of what you want to do every morning in your morning routine. And I am also begging you to customize it so that it works for you. Because the truth is, if it doesn't work for where you are in your life right now, you're not going to do it. And the most effective morning routine is the one that you actually do every morning, which is why mine is just 10 minutes long. And if you want to read about my morning routine, you better get on our newsletter list. It's going out a little bit later today. It's an awesome, awesome newsletter today. It's super funny. You're going to love it. Lots of amazing videos that we link to. And if you're not on our newsletter list, join the more than 400,000 people that read this personal letter every week. Just go to melrobbins.com/newsletter and you'll get on the list and you'll read the newsletter today. So let's jump into what I wanted to talk about today. I've got a question from Diego, and this is going to relate back to your morning routine. melrobbins.com/SpringItOn. Let's go. From Diego, I have a dream of opening my own restaurant, but I'm terrified to start. How many of you have ever thought about opening up a restaurant or starting a small business or having some kind of side hustle? It doesn't have to be a restaurant. Give me a thumbs up or a heart or something if you have a dream of launching something of your own. You're not alone, by the way. In fact, for the first time in history, when the Pew Research Center did this study about the American dream, and I realize we have a huge international audience, but at least in the United States, the American dream used to be, I really dream of owning my own home. Do you know what the American dream is now for the majority of people? It's, I want to own my own business. And so whether you're interested in launching a restaurant or you would love to have a business of any size, shape, or form in any vertical that you can think of, this is a question that you need to pay attention to, okay? Because I know this is also impacting you. I'm terrified to start. I know I have the potential to be really successful, but I just can't get myself to actually do something about it. You know, sometimes when the dream is so big, the fact that it's so big becomes paralyzing because you think about where you are right now and you think, holy cow, that thing that I really want? How do you even start when the dream is so big? So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to shrink it down because you know me, I am all about simplicity. I'm all about making sure that the advice works for you because if it doesn't work for you, you're not going to do it. And I'm all about switching how you think about things. So Diego, first of all, I don't want you to think about opening a restaurant. I don't want you to think about launching that business because that's something that will happen a year from now. What I want you to think about is I want you to shrink your thinking. I want you to think about researching a restaurant. I want you to think about preparing to launch a restaurant. I want you to think about learning about launching a restaurant. Do you see how just saying, I want to learn about launching a restaurant changes how you feel versus I'm launching a restaurant, which feels so big. You're just in a phase where you're learning and researching this idea, which all of a sudden takes all the pressure off, doesn't it? Awesome. So that's number one. Let's shrink it and let's not talk about launching it. Let's not talk about building it. Let's talk about researching and learning about it, okay? So that takes the pressure off. Then the next thing that I want you to do is I want you to focus on something that I talk about all the time. If you're researching and learning about launching a restaurant or a business, all I want you to do, Professor Mel has an assignment for you. I want you to find 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. That's all it takes. 10 to 15 minutes. And I want you to do one thing for 10 or 15 minutes a day that helps you learn or research about the idea of launching a restaurant. How many of you are starting to feel a little bit lighter? How many of you are starting to feel like, holy cow, thinking about it that way, I actually could get started today? Making this smaller and making it something that I'm learning about rather than doing and launching and that somehow thinking about it differently frees up the ability to get started. Amazing. I'm so happy that that is working for you. So I want you to do one small thing a day. So what could you do? You could read an article about somebody that launched a first-time restaurant. You could look online for 10 to 15 minutes for a local restaurant networking event. You could search YouTube and you could look for videos that are restaurant tutorial opening things. You could go to Barnes & Noble or your local library and find a book. You could apply for a job on the weekends and work in a restaurant if you've never worked in a restaurant to see how it feels. Because what are you doing? You're not launching or building a restaurant yet. You're learning about it and you're researching it. And your job as a student of this subject is to do something every day for 10 or 15 minutes in order to learn or research it. That's it. That's all I want you to do, because here's what I know. If I get you to start doing that, and you do this every day for 10 or 15 minutes, which you absolutely can, guess what's going to happen? You're going to feel momentum. You're going to feel like you're working on it. You're going to meet people that are interested in it. You're going to learn things that are going to lead to the next thing that you need to learn. And you will have mastered the art of getting started. And by doing something a little bit every day, you're also going to master the art of continuing to keep going. And from there, it'll snowball. I promise you. I promise you. As you meet people, the next thing you'll do would be to learn more from them. As you read and watch tutorials about people that have started restaurants, as you watch television programming about it, you're going to feel more inspired. You're going to start to see, I think I can do this. That's going to lead to the next thing. Trust me when I say it's all about the little progress you make every day. So let me recap. If you, like Diego, have a dream of launching a business or starting something big, but you can't even seem to begin, I want you to stop talking about launching it and building it, and I want you to shrink it back to I'm learning about it and researching it. That's number one. Number two, 10 to 15 minutes a day, you are a student of this subject. That's it. Get yourself a notebook where you keep all your notes. Get yourself organized like you would as a student. And find one thing you can do every single day that teaches you a little bit something about this subject that you're really interested in. And trust me, it'll all happen just by doing that. Researchers found that people, by the way, who are making progress towards their goals every single day and learning something new about something that you're interested in launching or building is progress. That's how you do it. And another thing that I would recommend is there's an incredible podcast called How I Built This, which is all interviews with entrepreneurs of some of the most amazing products and brands. And it's the backstory of how people did it. And what you're going to learn is before they launched it and built it, they became a student of it. They researched it. They learn something every single day, which is exactly what you're going to do to get started, because that's exactly what the greats do in order to get started. Now, the other thing I want you to do is we have a giveaway today. It's going to be posted on social media tomorrow. This is the 5-second journal. This is the journal that I use. This is the journaling method and the productivity method that I use in my life. This is 3 years of research to come up with a simple journaling method that takes you a handful of minutes. Every single prompt in here is backed by science, and it is a prompt that takes you less than 5 seconds. This is what it looks like. I'm giving 10 of these away. 10 signed journals away. How do you win one? Simple. Make sure you follow us on social media, on Instagram and on Facebook. Tomorrow we're going to be posting about the 5-second journal giveaway, and there are very specific instructions about how you can enter to win one. You can enter as many times as you want. You can enter from anywhere around the world. And if you're already starting to get scared that you're not going to win, don't worry, I got you covered. If you go to 5secondjournal.com, you can download a free template of the journal itself. Because I'm not here to hammer you to buy stuff. I'm here to give you tools that help you change your life. And so if you can't afford to buy this sucker's heavy. Like, I mean, this thing is thick. How many pages is this? 300 pages, hardcover. Holy cow! It even is designed to fold flat. Look at how thick that thing is. It's covering my whole face, for crying out loud. I think this thing is like $15 on Amazon, isn't it? 18? I don't know.
Close.
I mean, it's anyway, whatever. We're giving away signed. I'm profoundly shocked at how thick this thing is for less than $20. I'm just saying. But we're giving 10 of them away tomorrow. This is backed by science. It leverages research from Caltech, from Harvard Business School. It takes you less than 2 minutes to do it. And it helps to focus me every morning. It helps me do exactly what I just told you to do and Diego to do, which is to leverage the progress principle from Harvard Business School in order to focus on one thing that matters every day to me. This is my savior, seriously. It also leverages Parkinson's law. It makes you set a quitting time. It also gives you room to do a brain dump, and we're giving 10 of these signed copies away tomorrow. So make sure on Instagram, make sure on Facebook, and if you're afraid you're gonna miss the post, turn on notifications. Where are those? They're up in the corner, I think this corner or that corner on Instagram, and you won't ever miss a post or a notification of when we're going live. I think that's it. If you're not on our newsletter list, get on it because the newsletter has not gone out yet today. melrobbins.com/newsletter. I send out a personal letter every single week, and I would love for you to be on that list. The other thing that I want to tell you about, if you go to our social media channels, you will see that we are running a really exciting opportunity. If you've ever wanted to be coached by yours truly, I don't do any individual coaching except for our audiobooks with Audible and the new TV show. And we are currently casting for 6 people to win a trip to Boston. I will fly you to Boston in early June, and we are doing a brand new audiobook all about work. Work it out, baby. So if you've got issues related to work, you're trying to build a home-based business and you're struggling with self-doubt, you had a creepy boss that harassed you and that made you lose your self-confidence and you don't know where to start. You stayed home and raised your kids, which is the most important job on the planet, but now 20 years later, you're swirling because you don't know what to do with your life or how to get back into the workforce. What if you've been passed over for a promotion? What if you're tired of not getting credit for your work? Have you aged out of corporate America? Do you feel like bias is impacting your ability to rise up in the workplace? These are all issues we want to help you with. How do you be part of this incredible new audiobook? It's very simple. All you're gonna do is pull out your smartphone, make a quick video, try to keep it under a minute. I'm not an IT department. You've got to email it to us. If you can't figure out how to do that, you won't be able to submit this. So go, hey, I'm Mel, I'm from Boston, and here's the work issue I'm struggling with and why I want your help, Mel. That's it. 1 minute long. You'll be able to email it to us. Then email it to workitout@melrobbins.com. Workitout@melrobbins.com. All of this, by the way, is on our social media channels. There is a post right now on Facebook and on Instagram and on YouTube that explains this contest from just 2 days ago. We are only accepting entries until May 24th. We've already had hundreds come in, but we're waiting on you. So please, let's go. And if you don't have work issues and you want my coaching on personal issues, you know what? There's this new daytime talk show that's coming. It's a modern update of the old school talk show. If you love Donahue, if you love Sally Jesse, if you love the old school days of Oprah Winfrey when it was all about real people and real issues with a live audience that got to ask questions, welcome to the Mel Robbins Show. So if you have personal issues, relationship issues, family issues, self-confidence issues, you're struggling with an eating disorder, you're struggling with PTSD, you have such severe acne you don't go out of your house. Whatever it is that's hurting your life, the Mel Robbins Show is here to help. If you go to melrobbins.com/TV, melrobbins.com/TV, you'll find a form where you can apply to be a guest. So if you're thinking, wow, I'd love to be a guest. Wow, I'd love to get coaching from Mel. Wow, holy cow. Stop thinking, please. And either make that video, send it to workitout@melrobbins.com, or go to melrobbins.com/TV and fill out the form and apply to be a guest on the show. All right, that's all I got for you. One more thing?
Next week.
Next week. Next week, the whole topic is boost your beliefs. And this is super important because we're talking about how you think about yourself, okay? We're talking about your belief system and why it's so important for you to detox and spring clean all those limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. and boost your ability to cheer for yourself and to believe in yourself, that's what we're talking about next week. And so if you're not part of Spring It On, you better get in. melrobbins.com/springiton, because I am giving you a master class in how you boost your belief in yourself. Now, I'm also having surgery on Monday. As many of you know, for my folks that are new, welcome. But I have had chronic problems with incontinence. I leak, in other words, is the very rude way to say it. When I sneeze, when I laugh, when I dance, when I jog, so I don't jog, when I skip, when I twirl, when I jump, which I don't, I leak all the time. And it's been an issue for 20 years. 50% of women live with incontinence issues, and you don't have to. There's products that you can buy to help you. There's PT that you can do that can strengthen your pelvic floor. I've tried all of those. I actually, based on the testing, have a very severe form. It's about to be severe enough that when I actually get up out of a chair, I'm going to have a problem with it. So I'm going and getting a small procedure on Monday to take care of this. I'm actually super excited to get this done, and I'm going to be sharing with you about it later. But I don't know what the taping schedule is going to be like next week. I'm hoping that I go live every day. I'm hoping that I take you along for the ride. I'm hoping that I feel well enough and good enough to be with you next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But I'm just putting it out there as a warning that it may be intermittent next week, depending upon how I feel. I know you understand, but all the content next week and the workbook will all be about boosting your belief in self. This is super important for you, which is why it's also important to turn on the notifications on Instagram so that you're alerted when we post. I can't tell you how many of you I've bumped into onto the road. 4 people stopped us yesterday. That's a new record. Mm-hmm. Not even at an event. 2 people at the airport, the person sitting in front of us on the plane, and one of the stewards on the plane, all fans, which is super exciting. You know what I love? 2 of the people didn't know my name. They just knew that I was that 5-second lady, which is really important to me, because to me, it's not about being recognized. It's about these ideas spreading. And so when somebody comes up to me and is like, "Are you the 5-second lady? Are you Robin Melvin? Is that I'm like, yep, that's me." Because I just want you sharing these ideas. I could care less that you know my name. But anyway, so that's the thing. Did I forget something? I don't think I forgot something.
Covered it.
I don't know. I think I covered everything, which is miraculous. In case nobody else tells you today, please let me be the one to tell you that I love you. And I believe in you and your ability to change your life for the better, because you can change what you think about. And you can change the small things you do, like not talking about building and launching a business, but reframing it and saying that you're learning about and researching building a business, which then frees you up to get started. And when you get started, your whole life changes. Anyway, I hope you have an amazing weekend. Wish me luck. It is senior prom. And my daughter and I are currently fighting, which is always wonderful. And if you see me screaming at a teenager at a salon this afternoon, please say hello. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and wish me luck in my surgery on Monday morning. And I'm sure I will see you online tomorrow, or maybe I'll see you online. We'll be online all weekend, but I'm sure I'll see you on a live stream at some point next week.